Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're jumping into something that really trips people up sometimes. Manifestation.
hmm
Maybe you've been there, you've tried the usual stuff, visualizing really hard, doing affirmations constantly.
Right. Doing all the things you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And nothing. Or at least it feels like the universe is kind of just giving you the cold shoulder. If that sounds familiar, well, you're definitely not alone.
It's a common frustration for sure.
So we found this really interesting piece that basically throws a lot of the conventional wisdom out the window.
hmm
It questions how the universe actually responds to what we want.
Okay.
Our mission today is to sort of unpack what this source says or the big misunderstandings about manifestation, and then explore this kind of surprising alternative. It talks about something called quantum scripting.
Yeah. And this is really a chance for you listening to maybe get a whole new angle on this. We're looking past the usual advice,
Mhm.
the common myths, to dig into a pretty different way of thinking about, well, intention and how things actually show up. It might just flip how you think about effort and getting results.
Okay, let's get right into it then. The source opens with this really provocative line. He says, "Your manifestation failed. Good. What 99% get backwards about the universe?"
Wow. Okay. Good. That definitely grabs your attention.
It does, right. It's so counterintuitive. We're usually told, put in more effort, try harder, and you'll get there. But this source seems to be saying that might be the actual problem.
Exactly. The whole idea here is that there's this fundamental misunderstanding going on, especially with how our subconscious mind processes things.
Uh-huh.
It suggests that those typical approaches, the ones it calls try hard, they might actually be working against us.
Oh, so.
Well, instead of aligning us with what we want, they could be generating this kind of energetic resistance that actually pushes it away.
Okay, let's break that down.
Yeah.
The source starts by tackling some common manifestation advice. First up, it calls out myth 1, visualize harder.
Yeah, you hear that all the time. Just picture it more vividly.
Right. But the source offers this truth instead. Your subconscious rejects try-hard energy.
Mm-hmm. And the thinking behind that, according to the source, is when we force it, when we visualize with this intense effort or maybe desperation.
Yeah, that feeling of needing it.
Exactly. The subconscious apparently picks up on that try-hard energy, not as genuine desire, but as a signal of lack or doubt.
Oh, okay.
It's like your inner self goes, if you have to push this hard, you can't really believe it's possible, can you? So that energy, that push, ironically ends up reinforcing the absence of the thing you want.
That actually makes a weird kind of sense when you think about how subtle the subconscious can be. Okay, so then it moves on to the second myth, which always felt a bit fuzzy to me. Myth 2, release attachment.
Right, another classic piece of advice. And this is where the source offers a really important clarification. It says, the truth is, detach from timing, not desire.
Okay, that distinction feels crucial.
It really is. Because, often people hear release attachment and they think they need to stop wanting the thing altogether.
Yeah, like pretend you don't care.
Exactly. As if indifference will magically make it appear. But this source argues, no, you hold on to what the desire itself is fine. What you release is the rigid expectation about when it has to happen or how it has to happen.
Why do you think those two get mixed up so often?
Well, I think it's partly because we're just, wired to want control and immediate results. Letting go of the timeline feels like losing control. So it's easier sometimes to just kind of try and squash the desire itself. It's hard to trust a process you can't see or dictate.
Okay, so if trying too hard is bad and getting fixated on when it happens is also bad, what's the fix? This is where the source brings in this idea of quantum scripting. And this is where it gets, well, really interesting.
It does. So quantum scripting, as presented here, is meant to be a way around those problems we just talked about. The resistance from trying too hard, the attachment issue.
Now, the term quantum scripting sounds kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, and it's important to note the source seems to be using quantum more, let's say, metaphorically. It's not really delving into quantum physics principles.
Right?
It seems to refer more to a subtle, maybe non-linear kind of energetic thing, like a shift that bypasses the usual conscious mind static and resistance. Less about physics, more about bypassing effortful intention.
Gotcha. So how does it actually work then, this quantum scripting?
Yeah.
The source lays out a very specific 3-step thing it calls the power method.
Okay.
First step, you type the affirmation.
Yeah.
Specifically, you type, I am so happy now that...
Literal present tense, as if it's already done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the example given is, I am so happy now that $10K landed unexpectedly. So very specific phrasing.
Okay, typed it, then what?
Step 2. Once it's typed, you read aloud with zero emotion.
Zero emotion, like completely flat.
Yeah, the source specifies deadpan voice.
Whoa!
This seems really key. No excitement, no longing, no feeling attached to it at all. Almost like you're reading, I don't know, a serial number out loud.
Huh. That's
Well,
different.
isn't it? Then step 3, which is maybe the weirdest part, immediate deletion.
Delete it straight away.
Yep, you type it, you read it deadpan, and poof, delete. Gone. No saving it, no looking at it again, no dwelling on it.
Wow. Okay. So type, read flat, delete.
That's the method.
And the source links this back to that core idea we mentioned earlier. No effort, no resistance.
Right.
The thinking seems to be, by doing it this way with zero emotional charge and then just letting it go instantly by deleting it, you avoid engaging that try-hard energy.
Yeah.
You're not giving your conscious mind or maybe your subconscious time to jump in with doubt or longing or trying to figure out how. It's like you're treating it as a done deal so mundane it doesn't even warrant saving.
Like sending a quick instruction out without making a big deal of it.
Exactly. It bypasses that usual mental and emotional entanglement that, according to the source, creates the resistance in the first place.
And to back this up, the source shares a pretty striking result, reportedly. It mentions a client who apparently used this method for just 3 days
Okay, pretty quick.
and received an $8 7K surprise check.
An $8,700 surprise check after 3 days of type read delete.
That's the claim. And the source seems to emphasize the surprise part of it.
Right, which links back to the idea of detaching from the how. The money didn't come through some channel they were forcing or expecting.
Exactly. It suggests the universe, or whatever you want to call it, responded to that specific energy, that non-resistance, that quiet sort of okayness with it, rather than a direct, conscious push for money through a specific job or project.
It's like opening a door without specifying exactly who or what has to walk through it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, which really brings us full circle to the main principle the source wraps up with. It states, the universe responds to certainty, not begging.
Certainty, not begging. That's powerful. But what does certainty mean here, especially with this whole no effort, no emotion thing? It doesn't sound like forcing yourself to believe something really hard.
No, it doesn't.
The source seems to imply the certainty isn't about, like, intense willpower or belief in the usual sense. It's more like a quiet, settled knowing.
Like it's just a fact, already done.
Yeah, a state that's kind of beyond doubt or neediness. An internal feeling that the outcome is just real. Regardless of what you see around you right now, it's not wanting, it's being.
A conviction that just is.
Exactly. A deeply relaxed energy where it feels like a foregone conclusion, not something you have to desperately plead for or chase after.
So wrapping this up for you listening, the key things we've unpacked from this source are pretty surprising, aren't they? First, this twist on what blocks manifestation, the idea that trying harder might actually work against you.
Right, that try-hard energy creating resistance.
Then the very specific, almost ritual-like steps of this quantum scripting type. Read deadpan, delete immediately.
The no-effort method.
And finally, this core idea that it's certainty, that quiet internal knowing, not desperate longing or begging that the universe actually responds to.
Yeah, and it really makes you think, how might this perspective apply to your own approach? If you've been focused on, say, high emotion visualization or constant affirmations, how does this source's emphasis on no effort or even no emotion sit with you? It's such a contrast to a lot of other teachings out there. What really stands out to you about this whole approach?
It definitely gives you something to think about, and it leaves us with this final thought. If the universe really does respond more to that quiet certainty than our loud begging, what does that say about how most of us chase our desires? And what kind of hidden power might be sitting there unnoticed in our own quiet, settled convictions?